What if everything we have been taught about competition is wrong? We grew up hearing that competition makes us better, that fighting it out in the market is noble, and that businesses should try to be the best among many. But the most successful companies in history, for example, Google, Apple, Tesla, Amazon, Nvidia, did not win through competing. They won by escaping competition entirely. Today, I want to break down how real monopolies are built, the science and strategy behind them, and why your startup should probably avoid competing instead of running toward it. The core concepts comes from the book 0 to 1 written by Peter Thiel, which I recently read, but we are going way beyond the book. For example, concepts such as network theory, founder psychology, pricing power, category creation will be explored, and I'm going to end the video with some modern case studies. So let's get right into it. So what really monopoly is? When you hear the word monopoly, you may picture a greedy corporate giant crushing little businesses. But in the entrepreneurial world, a monopoly simply means a company that is so good at what it does, other companies cannot compete. And these companies share four core traits. Number one, they have a proprietary technology. The rule isn't just build something new, it is your product must be 10x better in at least one critical dimension. Now you may ask me, why 10x? Because anything less gets ignored as a small improvement. Google wasn't 10% better than other search engines, it was order of magnitude better. SpaceX wasn't slightly cheaper, they cut cost by 90% with reusable rockets. Nvidia isn't a little faster, their chips are 10 to 100x faster for AI. 10x is a threshold where customers switch behavior. Number two, network effects. Everyone knows network effects are powerful, but the part people forget is a network has to be valuable to the first user before it becomes valuable to millions. This is why most social networks die. Why? Because nobody wants to join an empty room. The strongest examples solve this perfectly. Facebook started with just Harvard and was already valuable inside one campus. PayPal focused on eBay power sellers only. Slack began as an internal tool for one team. And my son and his partner startup known as Rookie are starting with college football just for two schools, University of Michigan and Berkeley. Small network, dense engagement, you create momentum and that momentum creates scale. Number three, economies of scale. True monopolies get more efficient every time they grow. Amazon's logistics got cheaper with scale. Tesla's cost per car falls as the gigafactories expand. OpenAI or Google spend enormous upfront compute, but marginal cost per user is tiny. A real monopoly is designed from day one to scale like this. And the last one is branding. Brand isn't just a logo, it's a trust contract. Yes, every company has a monopoly on its own brand. But the key insight is branding amplifies monopoly power. It doesn't create it. Apple became a brand after they built 10x better products. You cannot brand your way into dominance, but branding can cement it for sure. Now let us look at how monopolies are actually built. Most founders think too big at the start. I'm going to disrupt a $1 trillion industry. No, that is wrong, philosophically incorrect. That's actually how you lose. Real monopolies follow a predictable growth pattern. Step one, start small, maybe ridiculously small. This is the most misunderstood concept in startups. Every monopoly begins as a niche. The smaller, the better. Amazon started with books, not the everything store you know of them today. Tesla started with a $100K sports car, not mass marketing vehicles to everyone. Google started as a search engine or a search tool for Stanford, not the whole World Wide Web. Why start small? Because you only need to be the best for a very tiny group at first. As Peter Thiel says, it is infinitely easier to dominate 95% of a market of 10,000 people than 0.0001% of a market of billions. Step 2, monopolize this niche. Once you pick your tiny market, your goal is total domination. Ask these questions. Who are the exact 1,000 people who need this, and why do they need this? Why are they underserved today? What can I do 10x better for them? This is your monopoly, your beachhead. Step 3, expand to adjacent markets. Here is where genius founders shine. They expand slowly, deliberately, and in the correct order. This is called market sequencing. Example, Facebook started with Harvard, went to other Ivy Leagues, and then to US colleges, and then to the world. Amazon started with books, then to CDs, then to electronics. All retail later came in. Uber, San Francisco, New York City, LA, and then went global. The mistake founders make, they expand too fast. Monopolies expand through a chain reaction. Each new market makes sense only because the previous one was fully secured. Step 4, do not disrupt. This is controversial but true. The best startups avoid competition completely. Disrupting means entering someone else's turf. If you try to disrupt a big player, you usually get crushed. Then the rule is do something different, not better. Create a new category maybe instead of fighting in an old one. Examples, Airbnb did not disrupt hotels, it created home sharing. Uber did not disrupt taxis, it created on-demand mobility. Stripe did not disrupt banks, it created a developer-first API category. Be the only one doing what you are doing, and that's the mantra. Step 5, focus on long-term cash flows. Most people obsess over current revenue. The smartest founders obsess over future revenue. A monopoly is built on massive future cash flows, not immediate profits. Amazon bleed money for nearly 20 years while becoming the most valuable retailer in history. Google gave search away for free and now prints cash through ads. Monopolies play infinite games. Always remember that. Now let us explore the 4 deep principles behind all of this that we have discussed today. This is where we go beyond the book 0 to 1. Now let's talk about the underlying logic, the mindset behind all enduring monopolies. Principle 1, category creation is the ultimate business strategy. If you create the category, you have no competition, you have complete price control, you have a brand dominance, you have a users already logged in, you have a narrative ownership. Every major startup success of the last 20 years created or redefined a category. Principle 2, people do not buy better, they buy different. If you say we are 20% better than the leading product, you have already lost the game. But if you say this tool lets you do something you could not do before, you win. Better is incremental, different is exponential. Principle 3, big markets are symmetry grounds for startup. Founders love saying, if you get just 1% of this $100 billion market, this is hallucination. 1% of a huge market means competitors everywhere, zero pricing power, no differentiation whatsoever, no narrative of your own, and no niche to play with. Startups die hard because of such broad concept. Principle 4, the endpoint of all startups is a monopoly. This is harsh but true. If you do not become a monopoly in something, your company will eventually die. Competition forces profit margins towards zero. Only monopolies generate long-term profit. Now let us look at some of the best real-world examples which will help us understand this much better. Let's break down a few examples through this lens. Nvidia's rise. Nvidia did not try to win the GPU market. They created the AI acceleration market, a brand new category. Their CUDA ecosystem created network effects in developer tools. And now they are the most important company in the landscape of AI. Second example I can take is Tesla. Tesla did not disrupt Ford or Toyota. They built luxury electric sports car for the ultra rich first, tiny undeserved niche. Then they made the Roadster, Model S, Model 3, then went to the mass market, which is also known as perfect sequencing. Third example I can take is TikTok. TikTok did not enter social media with broad ambition. It started by dominating short form lip sync videos for teenagers in China. Tiny niche, massive scale, global monopoly in short form attention. That brings to an end to this video. The truth is simple but uncomfortable. Startup success is not about competing. It's about escaping. It's about escaping competition completely. Monopolies aren't evil. They are the only companies that survive, innovate, and push society forward. If you're building something today, start small. Build something 10x better for a tiny group. Expand deliberately. Avoid markets full of competition. Think long term. Think about long term cash flows. This is how real monopolies form and how world changing companies actually get built. Thank you for listening, and I really appreciate your time. If you do like what you heard here today, please give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, please. Thank you.